My Jeep Gladiator is self-healing. What? Let's go for a ride and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here. That's right. Is my Jeep Gladiator, it must be, self-healing? Now, I know that's crazy, right? There's no such thing as self-healing. Or is there? Anyway, let me show you this real quick. Now, you saw there, right? That was the gauge cluster. And you may have noticed there's nothing on it. Well, the only stuff that's on it is what's supposed to be on it, right? Let me tell you a little story. For those of you who don't know what's going on, I bought this Jeep a while back, and shortly after I got it, this magical glowing problem or trouble light showed up on the gauge cluster, right? It was the auto stop failure, amongst one other, and that was the check engine light, which has been resolved. That's a different video. So I took it in, I had the software upgrade done, and the day after I had it done, the auto stop malfunction light, well, it showed up again, right? So I decided I would disconnect the auto stop sensor. You know, there's a little black cube, if you will, that's on your battery terminal. I had heard that if you disconnected that, or at least checked it to make sure it was all connected properly, maybe something could be loose, then it might alleviate the problem. Now, I'm not saying that in doing that, I alleviated the problem, because I didn't find anything wrong with it, right? Nothing was loose. There were no connections that were funky. It all seemed perfectly fine to me. But nonetheless, I took it off. I touched it, I blessed it, and I put it back on. So since then, and actually since the day after I had the software upgrade done at the dealership, I haven't had any issues. My auto stop malfunction light has not come back on. Now, let me tell you, because I do use the little button down there to turn it off every time I get in the Jeep, because I don't like it. It came on anyway before. Even when I would push that button and it would deactivate the auto stop function, I would still get the error message that it wasn't working periodically. And you know, it's nothing that happened every time, just now and then. So that's why I took it in to have the software upgrade done, because I had heard, and it was true, that there was an upgrade out there, at least for the check engine light. And when I mentioned that to the dealership people over there, they said that that should take care of the auto stop problem as well. Now, of course, I didn't think it did, because the day after I had it done, the auto stop malfunction light came on again. But since then, no auto stop malfunction. So I don't know if maybe when I disconnected the battery terminal, it kind of reset something after that. I mean, who knows? Again, I don't think it was the sensor. I don't think there was any issue with that. But it seems to be cured. It seems to be fine. My Jeep Gladiator seems to have healed itself. It really is quite amazing. Now, let me tell you, my mom has one as well. She's got an identical Jeep Gladiator to what I have. It's the same year, it's the same package. I think the only difference between the two is the tow package. I have the tow package on mine and she doesn't. That's it. Otherwise, if you change the color to Gobi on hers, which is white, it would be the same exact truck. And she hasn't had any trouble. Now, in all fairness, she doesn't drive it a lot, so it doesn't have a ton of miles. Mine has, I think you probably saw when I showed the gauge cluster there, I've got 5,353 miles right now. So I don't have a ton of miles on mine either, but it has been driven quite a bit. And it was driven long distance, you know, stretches of probably 3-4 hours at a time. And interestingly, because people have suggested to me that maybe it's my short trips, because I don't take a lot of long trips in the Jeep other than that. Usually it's to run errands or something, kind of like I am right now. We're actually headed to the post office. But not a lot of long trips, so it doesn't give the batteries, because you have two, right? The main battery and then that auxiliary battery sitting underneath for the auto stop system. But it doesn't give them a lot of time to charge, because I'm not driving for extended periods of time at higher speeds, right? So maybe that's why. Maybe the battery just kind of kicked down a little bit, because I don't drive it a lot of long distances. And when I went on that long trip, of course, I spent hours driving. But interestingly, I would think, because I did that, that would have solved maybe any kind of a battery issue that I had if I had good batteries, right? Because when I got back from the trip, it was probably about 2 weeks after we got back, is when I started to experience the auto stop malfunction again. So maybe the battery did charge while we were on that trip. It kept it up for a couple weeks, but then once I got back to normal driving, kind of discharged it a bit to the point where that auxiliary battery was having trouble and wouldn't hold a charge to be able to keep the system up and running. I don't know. But anyway, so far, seems to be solved. My next step, if I get it again, and fingers crossed I don't, will be to put a trickle charger on it. That's what I'm going to do next. Recharge, reinvigorate, re-energize the whole system. That'll be my last foray, I guess, into trying to solve it myself before I take it back to the dealer and push for a couple of new batteries, or at least a new battery for the auto stop system. We'll see. I'm hoping I don't have to do that. I don't have anything against doing it, but I just don't want to spend the time sitting at the dealership or go through the motions if it's not necessary. If I have a good system and the batteries will take a charge and stay up, then problem solved and no big deal. And that's kind of where I seem to be right now. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. System seems to have healed itself. I guess I got one of those special edition Jeep Gladiators that are self-healing. Let me know if you've had the auto stop malfunction in your Jeep Gladiator. Did you take it in? Was the battery or was a battery replacement the answer? I'd be curious to know, because I still haven't seen any cut and dried or across the board solution to this where it's been a one fix thing for everybody. Seems to be a myriad of different things that people have had done, from software upgrades to battery replacements to even engine replacements to solve that problem. Leave a comment, let me know. I'd be curious. Also, real quick, if you're interested, check out my other channel. It is Rob Motive, all about my trouble-free 2020 Toyota Tacoma. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.